What's up, guys? Welcome back, man. I know it's been a little while since New Year's weekend we went to Gulfport. Since I've been able to do a video. There was a couple races we planned on going to at the beginning of this year, and it just didn't work out. We were gonna go in February to Gulfport to their first King of the Coast race. The weather just wasn't good. They ended up racing, but I decided to stay home because I had planned on going to the Top Bowl 150 2 weeks later. And we were all ready to go. So I got the 67 in the trailer, and we were all ready to go. And the weather was just really bad again. Rained big chance of rain all weekend there. They ended up canceling it. I'm glad they did because I was coming. No matter what the forecast looked like, if they were racing or if they were gonna try, we were coming. But they decided to cancel it, so we changed our plans up a little bit. So over the winter, we've done mostly done things to the 70, 67. Rewired some stuff. Changed the coil on the car to the coil that's supposed to go with the grid we have. Not really a whole lot to it, looked over it. The 70, we pulled the transmission, took it to PTC. Well, we didn't take the transmission, but we pulled the transmission out, took the converter to PTC. Because when we tested it in Tennessee last year, the converter seemed to be tight. And it was dropping too much RPM when it shifted. So the plan was to pull the transmission and take the converter to PTC this winter. And we did that, got it loosened up, brought it back home, put it all back in. Flash converter. Before it was flashing 56, 5700, now it's flashing 6000, so it is a little looser. We're gonna try it there. So I feel like it loosened up 300 to 400 RPM, it should drop about the same RPM 67 is dropping, or maybe even a little less, 67 drops about 850 to 900 RPM when it shifts, which it stalls about 61. It depends on how much power it's making, weather-wise, because I think it was shown on the grid flashing 63 at Gulfport that New Year's weekend, which it was running low 80s, so the air was really good. But since Gulfport got canceled, Top Bowl 150 got canceled, I decided to make other plans. Will has not drove the 70 yet. That one test session we got last year was the only time we were able to get the car out. So Holly Springs is having a test and tune on Sunday, which is tomorrow. Today is Saturday. So Holly Springs having test and tune tomorrow. And I decided it'd be a perfect time. Take the car, test it. I'll make the first pass in it because we did, lose the converter. I think the only other thing we did was we replaced the back springs on the springs on the shocks on the back of the car. It had 170-pound springs on it, which is too stiff for that car. The car don't weigh with 2,400 pounds. That's a stiffer spring than the 67 has. So I had called QA1, talked to them about it, and they recommended 130-pound spring. So that's what we put on the car. So we're gonna test it and see how that kind of difference that makes and the transfer of the weight the car does. We got a different carburetor on it. We got the one we run 67 for so long, which is pretty close to the Rupert I have. It's run just as fast as that Rupert. It's a quick fuel that we've had for a long time. It runs really good. But like I said, Will hasn't drove the car yet, hasn't made a pass yet. I feel like this is a perfect time because we weren't gonna be able to do it until April. Take the 70 out and test it because of my work schedule, because of the races I was trying to go to earlier this year. And go for it. The Top Boat 150 just didn't work out, so we're gonna take 70 to Holly Springs tomorrow and test. Like I said, I'm gonna make the first pass, make sure everything's good. Then Will's gonna get in it, and he's gonna start making passes. You know, so we'll see how it goes. He come today, and he picked it up and put it in his trailer. Car should be ready to go. We're gonna leave in the morning, head to Holly Springs. So this is our first pass of the day, our first test pass. I went ahead and made the first pass to make sure the car was good with the changes we made over the winter before Will got in it. Alright, so this is going to be Will's first ever pass in the set. Really his first ever pass in the track. So you'll see in his burnout, he had a little problem with line lock. He was a little confused on how the line lock works on his first pass. Again, this is his first pass, so I went up there to try and get him as close to the beams I could, because he didn't really know exactly where they were.
Ryan! Hey, Ryan! He did pull it back in low gear, didn't he? He's doing it.
This is Will's third pass of the day, and by this time he's starting to get the line lock figured out with the burnout. The last pass, it ran a 5.99 with a 3, which is faster than the car's ever been. It's also the first time Will had to run against somebody, so kind of left really, really early, and I believe him having to run against somebody kind of messed him up. So we made one more pass before we decided to load up and come home. But I was recording it, and when Will got on the trans brake, the tree never come down. They didn't have the tree activated, and I started to run up there, and as soon as I started to run up there, then the tree come down. So I stopped recording, and I really thought that time he was about to get it, with the tree. He done got driving the car down. He got better in the burnout box. It just needed to figure out how to trans brake works, and it's gonna take some more seat time. I mean, probably a lot more seat time. It's not something you can just jump in, never done before, and jump in and do it. Bracket racing is there's a lot of steps to it, a lot of stuff to learn. But for his first time stepping in that car, and it going 590s, it running 98. The last pass we made, it went a 598 with a 1, which is, I mean, it blows the personal best of that car out of the water, I think. So it's faster than I've ever been in it. I mean, I went a 607 the first pass, which it spun really bad the first pass, and the track got better as the day went along with it. Just being a test and tune. But Will done really good. I'm really proud of him for jumping that car today or yesterday. First time ever driving it down the track. First time ever making a pass and doing as good as he did. He wasn't scared of it at all, and he's gonna get it. He's super competitive, so he's gonna figure it out. But 70 did really good too. It drove really good. I think we got our front end situation fixed. So if y'all remember me talking about that in past videos, we didn't get like 55 passes out of the last front tires on the car, and we found out what was wrong, and I think we got it fixed. The tires you still got the tits on them, still got the heads of those tits on the tires, so, and they feel the same as they did when we got there, and we made 5 or 6 passes. I mean, all the changes we did to the car, when we loosened the converter up, we put a less stiff spring on the back, went from 170 pound spring to 130 on the back to help the car transfer. And it was picking those last 2 passes. I know I didn't record the last one, but that pass where it went 599, it picked the wheels up a little bit. You can actually see the travel in the front end. The cars always looked kind of stiff leaving the line, and those last 3 passes, it didn't look stiff. You could actually see the travel in the front end, and it looked good. I also put our old blue carburetor on it. It's a quick fuel that I run for a long time on 67, and it's very comparable to my Rupert. Like it's been just as fast as my Rupert carburetor. So that's the first time we've had that carburetor on the car. So we were curious about it, and it picked it up. I think it's kind of a combination of things: carburetor, those rear springs, converter change. I think it's gonna be good. The car run good. And Holly Springs is a slower track than about anywhere we go. So it's possible it could run a mid-90, say at I-22, possibly a 95, 96. So it's going to be good. The car runs good. We got some problems we got to fix. We had an oil leak from the distributor, so we got to pull the distributor out and replace the gasket on it, get that fixed. And that carburetor is old, and it's been sitting for a little bit. Maybe why, I don't know. But it's leaking down. It's leaking alcohol in the motor or in the cylinder. Because the last 2 times before we went yesterday, we cranked it. It would spit raw fuel out of the driver on passenger side header. But when we got to the track, we pulled all the plugs out of it, spun it over, and nothing come out. So I guess we'll see when we unload the car next. Will took it home, so we'll unload it in about a week, because I'm about to go on nights and work nights all week. So when he brings it home, we'll see if it's got fuel in the cylinder. Probably still gonna take that carburetor off and just go through it, just freshen it up. So it's gonna be about a month before we go back to the track. Be like the first weekend of April. We're gonna try on that Friday night, try to take the 70 to I-22 and let Will make some more passes in it. And then that next weekend, I think April 12th or something like that, it'll be my first race of the year. It's kind of worked out this year where I'm starting later than I've started in a long time, just because there were 2 races I was trying to go to in Gulfport. Both of them, weather just wasn't good. So now I gotta work weekends the rest of March, and then April I'll start my 2024 season. But my first race would be, I have to look at the schedule. I don't know if it's at Holiday Beach or I-22, but it's the first race of the Southeastern Bracket Series that we've been racing in the past couple of years. So maybe I could do something then, hopefully do really good. And it's possible that's probably gonna be Will's first race. See what he does when we go test again. If he can get the tree more figured out. And honestly, after that weekend, and that first weekend in April, there's not gonna be any more testing tunes really, unless we want to go on like a Thursday night to somewhere, or try to find something on a Friday night. But so that my first race this year is probably gonna be his first race, So, but appreciate y'all for watching, man. I guess I'll see y'all in the next one.